Sorry. Got to start that. Go ahead.
So on Sunday, I was making homemade noodles for one of my daughters that was here. And so it's like boiling hot liquid, and it's thick liquid. So if it lands on you, it's like not just like fast takeoff. So anyway, a noodle, as I was stirring, popped out and landed on my finger right here. And I quickly got it off, but it left a ridge. It was a really weird burn. So more like almost melted my skin, but it left a ridge. And I put lavender on it really quick, but it was so burned that you could move the skin. Okay. So you know what kind of a burn it was.
Blistered a little bit, yeah.
But not, it was more of it. Yeah, the skin would move, but it wasn't like a pussy blister. Okay. So it was a weird burn. But I put it on there for the evening. The next morning, can you see that red spot right there?
Yeah.
Right there. That's all that was left.
Nice. Because it was bad enough to do that to your skin.
Yeah, I could move the day it happened, I could move the skin on it. I mean, I accidentally moved it, and that's how I knew that it was like it was, you know, lot like a third-degree burn, but it was bad enough.
Yeah.
So and there was no pain after I started using the lavender.
Thank goodness. So I burned myself the other day, and rose mist was handy on my desk here, and I sprayed with rose mist, and the pain relief just was gone. So that rose mist is become, oh, I just spray it on my face in the mornings and start my day. So you guys are going to love that too. All right. Anybody else have something they want to share before we continue? All right, Klevelin, I'm going to introduce you. We're so glad you're here. Klevelin is a busy mom of 2 little precious girls, and her 2 little girls are less than a year apart. And this is a woman who was told she probably would never be able to have children. And so she is quite a young mama of 2 precious girls, and busy and capable and wonderful. She joined us with doTERRA about a year and a half ago. And I remember thinking that she was a young mom. And then she told me how old she was. And she's a really young mom. And so she is in her early 20s, and she is so capable and knowledgeable. And I know you're going to love hearing from her today. She has a lot of experience of doing everything naturally and making really positive choices for what goes in and on her body and her family's. So excited to have you join us, Klevelin. We'll turn time over to you, and you can share what you have for us.
All right, I have a short presentation for you guys, and I actually am very excited to share this one with you because I use a lot of these products with my children, especially my younger one. She is 8, she's about to be 8 months old. She's been having a lot of like respiratory issues, and honestly, I feel since I found the Breathe Vapor Stick, it has been one of my favorites. I so conveniently bought it right before I started having weird things going on, and I love it because it's a little tiny stick. But I literally just put it on my nose and I just inhale, and it smells so great, and it does so many things for my sinuses. And I carry that thing around everywhere and I have extra in a box for whenever if I'm out of town and I have it with me, or if I'm running around and my husband needs one, there's one there for him too, because he also loves it. So we love these products. So I'm going to go ahead and could I share my screen with you guys? All right. Let's see. Oh, I guess. Well, this is kind of tricky. 1 second. Okay, it should let me share now. There we go. All right, can you guys see?
Yep.
Awesome. Okay, so, all right. So breathe with doTERRA.
Perfect.
All right, so like I was saying, I very much love the Breathe, all things Breathe the Breathe line, especially the vapor stick. I use it on my daughter, and I think it was about a month ago, she started to have this, it sounded like she had a bit of like phlegm, something was going on. And we were over at my mom's house, and my mom woke up in a panic. She was like, I think the baby is having a hard time breathing. And she came over to me, she gave me the baby, and the first thing I did was I warmed up some water. I put a couple of I didn't have the breathe oil with me, but I had eucalyptus. So I put a couple of drops of eucalyptus in there, and I put a drop of tea tree, and I put a warm cloth in the water, and then I strained it and I put it right over her forehead. And I put a little bit of that vapor stick right on her chest and right on the tip of her nose. And my husband stayed with her, and I went to go take a shower. And when I came back, that baby was sound asleep. I could hear her breathing like easily. She was calm. And that for the night, it had gone away. And I loved it because I wasn't worried about her anymore. I kept doing this for a few days and it seemed to go away. I think I might have to do that protocol with her again because she's having that same thing again, and I can hear that stuff coming up again. But these are some of my favorite things to use. Breathe, the Breathe vapor stick and the Breathe oil, I love. I think, I don't know if Leanna's on here yet, but I have a bag of oils that I carry in my bag, and these two are in there because I know that no matter what or when or where, like these will come in handy, if not for me, for somebody else, and if to give someone else the experience of breathing with such clarity. I think it's something that we don't realize how much we need it until we experience that. Yeah.
Hey, Klevelin, I missed what you put in the water. I'm so sorry. I don't know how I missed it, but you made warm water, you put drops in, and then you dipped a rag and put it on her head.
Yeah, I put a little cloth, those like washcloths that
Yeah.
that for babies. I always carry some of those with me. So
what
I
oils
dipped
did
it
you
in.
put in the water. I missed
I
that.
put eucalyptus and I put tea tree because I
Okay.
didn't have Breathe with me, but
Okay.
I do know that those two are part of the Breathe recipe. So I put two drops of eucalyptus, and I think it was about 10 ounces of water. I put 2 drops of eucalyptus, 1 drop of tea tree. She's a baby, so that is quite a lot for her. But I used the same water for the night. So I dipped it in there, and I just kept squeezing all the water out, and it was the cloth was warm enough that I just put it on her. I put it on her forehead, and I rubbed the vapor stick right on her chest and right on the tip of her nose. Wow. Just a tiny baby, so I don't want to overwhelm.
Brilliant. I'm not sure I would have thought to do that, but I love the idea of just enveloping the head with oils. That's brilliant.
Yeah, and I mean, growing up, my mom would do something similar with us, where like if we had a fever or something like that, she would rub like the vapor rub on the bottom of our feet and put the vapor rub on our chest. And the same thing, like it was typically a rag with like a little bit of alcohol on our forehead. So that's where I got that like inspiration to do that. But I knew that, those are products that I no longer use because I found something better, something natural that I want my children to hold on to and love. And my daughter has her own little kids oils, the kid oil collection. She has her own little oils that she uses when she needs, and I've shown her how to use it, and she loves actually sharing with other people. So if you ever see me and my daughter, you'll see us interact with the oils pretty often. But yeah, this line is one of my favorites. I love the oil, love the vapor stick, and it's not on here, but they also have the roll-on, which I don't have with me. I that's not one of the ones that I carry because I love the strength of the oil itself and the strength of the stick. It's so amazing. Like I said, I just rub it right on my nostril and I just inhale, and it feels so good to just breathe that all in. It smells so good. So I really recommend, if you guys don't already have these, to definitely go out there and get them. All right. Next, allergies, because allergies is something that we deal with a lot, especially here in Texas. Tri-Ease has been absolutely amazing for that. I used to take 2 of these in the morning, right around allergy season. That for me, it kind of starts in like February or late January, early February. And I was taking 2 of these in the morning with my morning vitamins, and I would take it with water. Sometimes I take it with like hot tea because that also helped my sinuses. But around noon, I would feel that relief. I would feel that, and also helps with little kids. I actually had an experience recently where both of my girls had an allergic reaction to something. I'm still not entirely sure what it was, but I immediately got my baby out of, we were in the bathtub, and I noticed this allergic reaction, like all this rash and little things going on. And I took her out, took her in the room. I got one of these and I just squeezed the soft gel in her mouth, and it went directly to the back of her mouth. And I thought it was going to be too strong for her, but she didn't care. And she just sat there and just tasted it. And I noticed within the next 30 minutes, the little all of these little things that were all over her body, the redness had gone down. She was no longer like, it didn't seem like she was in frenzy or something, and they were gone. So I love these. Like I said, I take 2 of the used to take 2 of them. I don't need them as much anymore, especially because I will show you in the next slide. I have my all allergy blend roller with me. I have 2 of them. I have one for myself and I have one for my daughter, just because she likes to use her own things. And little kids sometimes like to put things in their mouth. So as much as I know that the oils are antibacterial and antimicrobial, I still don't want to put something on my face that has been in my daughter's mouth because she's wild. So, but again, this is another product that I recommend. I did use it with both of my girls, but like I said, my youngest is only about to be 8 months old. So the fact that she was able to take this with such ease, and she didn't think it was too much flavor or too intense, is great. So
I'm just impressed. I would have gone to the topical trying to help her, which is hard all over the body. And
Mhm.
that is brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like the moment I saw it, I was just like, I got her out of the tub, I wrapped her in a towel, and I took her in the room, and I was like, this is what I got. This is what I'm using, and it worked. And I love that it's where my mind goes now, and it's not like Benadryl or
Yeah.
other stuff that is out there for those allergies. So I love this.
Nice.
And here is our recipe for our All Texas Allergy Blend, which helps with oak, cedar, mold, grass, and mulberry. Correct me if I forgot one, but I think that's all the ones.
Yeah, I think that's all of them.
Yeah.
Or sometimes I say trees too, but because some people just say they're allergic to trees, but that's the oak and the cedar. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you guys would like to take a screenshot of this and you want to take a minute to write this down, I carry them in the 10 millimeter roller bottles. So I carry 2 of them. And my husband also has one because my husband works in HVAC, and he's often in attics where they have the fiberglass, what is it called? Insulation. And breathing that stuff sometimes can be hard on not only in the lungs and person, but his skin. So he actually carries this with him, and he loves his roller. He actually also carries, I don't know if you recall, Shalene, that you gave us these little, like, I don't know, they're like diffusers. They're small little diffusers, white diffusers. You
Oh
gave
yeah,
them to
yeah,
us.
yeah.
Yeah.
The,
So
the
he
ones you can plug in and recharge, so you have a little diffuser. Yeah.
Yes, so he carries one of those with him, and he has a little dropper with juniper berries and one of the, it's not cedarwood. I can't remember what it's, juniper berry and one of the woody oils, but he uses them throughout the day, and he refills it with his water bottle and the little oil, and works great for him because he's up in hot attics all the time, so that diffuser kind of creates a little fresh mist for him.
That's awesome.
And here's some of my personal tips. I like to use eucalyptus a lot. Eucalyptus is one of those ones that I've always loved, and whenever I'm having a hard time, I use Epsom salt, and I mix them before I get in the shower. And then I just kind of put them on the floor and I turn on the hot water and I sit in there for a minute before I get started with my shower and just inhale all that. And it feels so good and it always helps relieve, especially recently, I've been having these like tension headaches and such. And I have noticed that this helps me a lot. And it definitely not only helps me sleep better, but it helps me release all that tension, which is great. So Epsom salt in a hot shower and mix them before. I will say that that seems to be a better way to do it than trying to throw the Epsom salt first and then the oil. So it feels kind of wasted. So I just mix it first and then I throw it in the shower. The peppermint beet lids and some supermint oil or the supermint beet lids are also great. Um, we have a neti pot and our roommate actually let us borrow hers because we just got ours recently. But at one point I put a drop of supermint in the neti pot and I thought it was going to be bad. And let me tell you guys, it helped me so much.
Wow. It's so strong. I'm
So strong, but it works. And you know what? I obviously sometimes these things drain to the eye. So when I was doing it, I was afraid because I thought it would go into my eye and it did. And I started to panic and I was like, it's gonna burn. It didn't.
good.
Because obviously it's so diluted in the water, it didn't burn and it helped me with my sinuses. And I was just like all day long, I was like, I still smell the
You guys don't know
supermint.
what a neti pot is? Let me just show you
Yeah.
what a neti pot is because I am a firm believer. So you put the water in here and a drop, make sure a drop, just no more oils, it's too much. But then you put it on one nostril and lean over your sink. Okay, is that not how you do it? You're laughing at me.
Yeah. No, that's right.
Okay. Well, I just thought it was the oddest thing, but I am amazed how it goes up in your sinuses and comes out your other nostril, unless you're so sick that one side is stopped up in there, then nothing comes out. But it still helps to get it in there to loosen it up.
So
Yeah.
my husband had a sinus infection for 2 years, Klevelin, and he put our board. I asked someone at retreat that year what to use because he's become intolerant of antibiotics. But our Bordeve,
Arborvitae, yeah.
yeah, and just roll it here. Maybe that is one that you can put in the neti pot too.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But there's a whole point
This is-
to not create to clear it out so that there's not a bacterial infection that starts.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Oh, and Supermint was more than anything, it helped me feel that like openness in my sinuses and that freshness. And like I said, throughout the day, I was like, I can still smell. I love the smell of Supermint. I mean, the menthol is
Me too.
it's just a great bonus in that oil.
Mhm.
But yeah, so does anybody else have any tips that they would like to share with us?
I add clove to this last one that you put on here because when I am trying to spray and give my throat relief, clove will deaden because it has that deadening what's the right word?
Analgesic.
Yeah, it just has a way of helping it deaden the hurt. But literally just a drop each and then a little spray bottle. But I carry that with me too. And remember to shake it because if you don't, the oils might settle near the bottom of the straw that sucks the spray bottle. And then it's too strong. So you got to shake it. And I used to use clear bottles and it's so fun. Like you put a drop and a drop and a drop and fill it with water. And then when it's clear and you shake it, you just see those drops break into 1,000 little teeny tiny drops in it. Anyway, you know your throat's getting all that good relief.
Yeah. So here's another one, which isn't really for breathing, but with this hot summer, I feel like it's still a tip that is useful. Please, please, please throw some peppermint and some eucalyptus in a spray bottle with some water and spray it on your neck and on the back of your neck. It helps keep you cool. And of course, it smells great. Eucalyptus and peppermint both have a lot of benefits for when you're breathing them in. So keep cool, breathe easy. And with that,
Yay.
I I think that's the end of my presentation. Yeah. There you go.
Fantastic. Breathe naturally, breathe easily, breathe doTERRA. Boy, that was fantastic. And I love short and sweet. Says you give us information, we can use it, and that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So-
Chloe. Anybody else have, Leanne says they were freaking out while you were doing your neti pot, I guess. That's funny.
Yeah, everybody was like, she's crazy.
He's crazy, put supermint in the neti pot. Oh my
Yeah.
God. Well,
One drop.
Klevelin,
I-
that very last thing you said for cooling down was eucalyptus and peppermint, was it?
Yes, I like I said, I love the smell of eucalyptus, and it has so many great benefits for me when it comes to like tension, headaches, and whatnot. So I really recommend that you do. I think it's a 12 ounce bottle, maybe wrong, or maybe more. But I do about 5 drops each just because I love that cooling and I love the smell of the eucalyptus and peppermint together. So I highly recommend that if you were out and about, you take one of those bottles with that combination with to keep handy.
Cool. Thanks.
Of course.
And it's similar to actually, I have one that I also put cedar wood in the morning and eucalyptus and peppermint. So it's similar to this mixture. And I keep it in the shower. And so in the mornings when I'm in a hot, steamy shower, I spray a couple of times into my hand and then I just sit there and breathe it in. Every morning I do that. And so that it gives my respiratory system a wake up call and an opening. It's just part of my routine. But so it's similar to that. And I guess I could use that same spray on the back of my neck too to cool me down.
Yeah, keep you cool. Keep
Yeah.
you nice and chill.
Love it. Thank you so much for all the wonderful tips. Next week, we're taking a break because it's 4th of July week and all of my kids and grandkids will be here. I'll be nutty taking care of everybody. So we're not having a class next week. The week after, I'll be teaching about the immune system and some great natural help that we can get for our immune system. So we'll see you in 2 weeks. And I can't tell you how much it means to me that you would all take time in the summertime to get on and listen. It means you want to be doing things naturally for you. So I hope you got something out of the class today. Thanks for getting on, everybody. Love you so much. We'll see you in a couple of weeks.